Howdy YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying to finish this engine up and getting it into the truck. See if we can't get that done. Still got to install the oil pan and the lower intake manifold. So I've got all my bolts and studs. Hopefully we can get that done here shortly. So I left off with installing one of the rockers. I got the other rocker installed as well. I'm gonna have to tighten up those rockers on the adjustments, but I'll probably do that in the truck because it'll be a little bit easier, I think. The engine's back over upside down now because we're gonna do the oil pan, the gasket, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So I got a can of carb cleaner here. It's about half full, some pretty good stuff, Berryman's. And we're gonna degrease this the best we can all along the surface here, just so we can get the RTV to stick to it really good. I'm using it's a silicone style gasket from Felpro. Should be pretty good, but nevertheless I want it to seal really good, so we're gonna make sure we get some RTV in there. Not a lot, just a little bit, just so it'll seal up and we won't have a leak in the back end of it. It's all degreased here all the way around. I also wanted to give you guys a quick tip. After you guys get these things set and they're sealed up and everything, take a razor blade and cut these things flat, because there is always a little bit of overhang of gasket, just, you know, so they're nice and level with the bottom end of the block. Okay, now that we have all of our RTV in place, you guys want to make sure you put an extra little glob there and there, so that when you put the gasket in, it'll drive it down into the cavities there. And then we got the oil pan pretty much set up and ready to go as well. Okay, now we have the gasket in place. We're ready to slap on the oil pan, so we're gonna do that now. So we already got RTV on this side of the pan. Pretty much want to do this all in one shot, one solid smooth movement, because you don't want to screw it up. Right here. We touching something here? Might be touching something. What are we touching? Oh, I know what we're touching. How do we deal with that? And that's pretty much what you gotta do. That we're hung up on something here. Looks like our oil pan might be bent a little. Okay, I figured out what the issue was. We're gonna go ahead and try to get this back on here, you know, before the silicone sets up, which is probably getting there right now. A little bit extra there in the corner, extra here in the corner, and then same as here and here. It's because I really don't want it to leak. This thing should do the rest. So let's try this again. The problem was one of these studs actually hit in the back corner of this oil pan here. So now I should be able to just set this guy down nice and easy. Pretty much just like that. And that's what we're looking for. That exactly is what we were looking for. Okay. Now I need bolts. This is the oil pan bolts. This pan's a little scratched up, unfortunately, from all the on and offs, but I think it's going to be okay. Get this on here and tighten up before that stuff sets up here. I'm gonna have to put some RTV on these as well. I did get some down in the thread holes, but make sure we really get them good. This is where the little impact driver shines right here. Getting all these little guys in there. I had to find these 4 bolts because I'm not sure what happened to the other 4 that go to the oil pan, but those came from the valve covers, so I'm gonna have to go over to the hardware store and get some of those. But nevertheless, we got the oil pan in, and we're still squirting out a little bit of RTV there in the back on that cap, which is just fine because we want it to be, you know, make sure it's all sealed up really good. So just gotta make sure everything is good there. And then we'll flip her back over and we'll do the upper intake manifold. Got the engine bottom side down and right side up. We can go ahead and put on that manifold. I'm gonna put in the studs first. We got a long one that goes here and a short one that goes back in here. And we're gonna do some RTV on these just because I've ported everything except for the heads. I haven't ported it, and then we're gonna put just a tiny little layer of RTV here in the back as well, and just along these lips here, just so we don't get any leaks. So I'll use some more carb cleaner to kind of degrease those, and then get it on there. Okay, so now we got the studs in. We are ready to install our gasket. It's also made by Felpro. It says use RTV sealant for end strips, which we did. Made sure to put quite a bit on there, and we just gotta basically line it up nice and easy. And get it on there. And hopefully we put enough on here, because we do not want to be dealing with leaks. At least I don't. You guys can deal with whatever you want, but as for me, I am good. Wow, look at that. Doesn't even... Okay. That works, I guess. And then I don't think there's any other little strips or nothing in here, is there? I would say I doubt it. For the giggles. That out of here. Doesn't look like it, so we'll just have to make sure that we get these things all nice and set up really good here. I have to use a little bit more RTV than I thought. No problem though. Okay, now we're gonna bring on the intake manifold. Luckily they gave us these nice studs to help line us up on. So if everything goes to plan, should be able to just sit her right down on it, just like that. Maybe. We'll see. That's a big gap. we got. I need more RTV than we got. Wow, that's gonna look awesome though. So I'm gonna pull this off. We actually have a little bit bigger gap than I thought I would. And I mean, I know it's gonna pull down on it, but that is quite a bit bigger gap than I thought. So we're gonna go ahead and land a really nice bead of silicone on there, and then we'll see what we come up with. Okay, got a lot bigger silicone bead on there, RTV bead. So we're gonna go ahead and try this again. Little things you run into when you start putting stuff together. Sometimes it can be really frustrating. Sometimes it's just like, who cares? So now we got good contact there. We got good contact there. And that should do it. Pretty much just gotta start putting in bolts. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and Loctite these as well. Can't remember what the torque is, but I'm gonna figure that out real quick before I start tightening these guys. We got the upper manifold on and torqued. Final torque is 15 foot-pounds. You know, and they also recommend that you put RTV at the tops of these bolts because you can get causative crankcase pressure up through there and it'll make it all nasty. So make sure you put RTV on these and then wipe it off, which is what I'm about to do. Okay, now that I got the engine pretty close to being together, we got the Ford pickup. And we're gonna go, I had to get a chain, a few more parts, and then we're gonna be able to get it off the engine stand and pretty much swing it on over here to put in the Ranger. Okay, so I messed up on the last little bit of assembling this engine. I didn't show it, but I pulled the engine off of the current stand, and I actually drove the pilot bearing into the rear of the crank, and on this model it's supposed to be into the flywheel, and I forgot about that because it's been almost a year. So that's like the only thing I screwed up on. You know, I'd say that's pretty good. So I ordered another pilot bearing. I'm gonna drive it into the flywheel when it gets here. I did install the main seal. I got that done, and then the next video will be the flywheel being installed as well, and the clutch, and then hopefully swinging that into the Ranger. So you guys stick around for video number 8. That should be the finishing touches on it, when I should be able to swing it into the truck and start assembling everything else while it's in the truck. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for your patience in all these short 15-minute videos. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, comment if you need to, or if you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask, or all that fun stuff. So like I said, thanks for watching, and you guys have a good day.